Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going a bit beneath the surface,
Yeah.
past the usual fantastic tales. We're exploring what some really specific ancient texts actually say about Nagas. You know, those powerful, often snake-like beings from South Asian traditions. Forget just myths for a second. Imagine, like, detailed field guides, classifications, spiritual lives, even pathways for how one might become a Naga. So, our mission today, let's uncover some surprising facts straight from the source. What are Nagas, according to these texts? How are they sorted? Do they have spiritual goals? And yeah, how does someone actually get reborn as one? It's all surprisingly detailed.
It really is. And our source for this, it's very specific. We're looking at the Nāgavaggo section, which is part of the Saṃyutta Nikāya, an ancient Buddhist text. And the key thing here, I think, is that this isn't just folklore. It's presented as a structured understanding. There's a classification system, descriptions of their practices, and these, well, karmic explanations for how things work in their realm.
A field guide to a hidden realm. I like that. Okay, so let's jump in. The very first part of our source, the Suddhika Sutta, it lays down the basics right. It starts by sorting Nagas.
That's exactly right. It gets straight to the point. The text identifies 4 distinct types, or maybe origins, for Nagas, and it's all based on how they are born.
Okay, 4 types based on birth. What are they?
So first you have the Aṇḍajā Naga. These are the egg-born ones. Pretty straightforward, like birds or reptiles hatching from an egg.
Got it. Egg-born.
Then there are the Jalākhujā Naga. These are womb-born, so more like humans, like mammals. They develop inside a mother.
Okay, familiar enough. What's next?
Next up, it gets a bit different. The Saṃsedajā Naga. These are described as moisture-born, or spontaneously generated from moisture from damp conditions.
Moisture-born. Huh. Okay, and the last one.
The last one is maybe the most intriguing. Opapātikā Naga. These are the apparitional ones. They just appear, fully formed, no visible birth process, no parents in the usual sense.
Wow, okay. So you go from eggs and wombs, which we understand, to appearing out of moisture, or just poof, appearing.
Exactly. It's quite a spectrum, moving from the, let's say, biological to something much more, well, ethereal.
And here's where I think it gets really interesting. The next text, the Opapātikā Sutta, it says these types aren't all equal. There's a ranking.
Yes, absolutely. The text is very explicit about this. There's a clear hierarchy among these 4 types,
Wow.
based entirely on how they came into being.
A hierarchy based on birth method. Tell me more.
Well, it states that the Opapātikā Nagas, the ones who just appear, are patitā. That means more excellent or superior.
Yeah.
They're considered superior to all the other 3 types. They're at the top.
Okay, the apparitional ones are the best. What about the others?
Right. Then moving down the scale, the Saṃsedajā, the moisture-born ones, and the Opapātikā are both considered superior to the egg-born and the womb-born. And then sort of the next step down, the Jalākhujā, womb-born, Saṃsedajā, moisture-born, and Opapātikā, apparitional, are all superior to just the Ekchaj, the egg-born ones. So the egg-born seem to be at the bottom of this particular scale.
So egg-born at the bottom, apparitional at the top, and the others somewhere in between.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is thinking about why. Why would birth method matter so much? The implication seems to be that a more spontaneous, less physically grounded birth, like the apparitional kind, signifies a higher state, maybe a result of better karma, or perhaps a less dense, more refined form of existence within their world. It suggests being free from some of the grosser aspects of biological life.
That adds a whole layer, doesn't it? Okay, so classification's a hierarchy. But then there's something else that really jumped out at me from the source material. These Nagas, they actually engage in, like, spiritual practices. The Uposatha suttas talk about this.
It's quite remarkable, yes. The texts mention that certain Nagas, regardless of which of the 4 types they belong to, observe Uposatha. These are the special observance days in Buddhism, usually for fasting and reaffirming precepts.
Why would they do that? I mean, if they're Nagas.
Well, the texts give a very specific reason. It says they observe Uposatha because they remember their past lives. They recall having performed wrong actions via karino, unskillful conduct using their body, their speech, and their mind.
Ah, so it's about past mistakes.
Precisely. Those past negative actions are directly linked to why they were reborn as Nagas in the first place. So their motivation now in their Naga life is to turn things around. They aspire to perform Sukrito, good conduct again, with body, speech, and mind. And their explicit goal in doing this, to achieve a Sugate Sakaloka, a good destiny, a heavenly world, in their next rebirth.
Wow. So even in what might be seen as a lower or more difficult rebirth, there's this active striving for improvement, for a better future, driven by remembering past karma.
Mm.
Quite profound for beings we usually just think of as mythical snakes.
It really reframes them, doesn't it? It shows this concept of karma and rebirth applying across different realms of existence, with beings actively trying to navigate it.
Okay, so we know what they are, roughly, how they're ranked, and that some are trying to improve their karma. Which leads to the big question, I guess. How does one actually become a Naga in the first place?
Oh.
The Suttas tackle this, right? What does it take?
Yes, these suttas, from 1.7 to 1.10, they lay out the conditions pretty clearly. It seems to boil down to two main factors combining.
Okay, factor one.
Factor one is a history of negative actions. The individual, perhaps a human or some other being, must have previously done things that were unskillful again through body, speech, and mind. So there's already a karmic debt, if you like.
Right, a foundation of bad karma. What's the second factor?
The second factor is hearing about the Nagas. Specifically, they hear that Nagas are Digayuka Vantavanto Sukhabahula, which means they're long-lived, beautiful or splendid, and have abundant happiness or pleasure.
Ah, so they hear how great the Naga life seems.
Exactly. And then, this is the crucial part, upon hearing this, they develop a strong wish, a powerful aspiration, to be reborn as one of those specific types of Nagas they heard about.
So it's the combination, bad past actions, plus hearing about the perks of being a Naga, plus really, really wanting it.
That's precisely the formula described. That specific combination leads directly to their rebirth in that desired Naga realm. It really underscores the power of intention, doesn't it? How a strong desire, even one maybe rooted in escaping past negativity or seeking sense pleasures, can literally shape your future existence according to this framework.
It's such a specific mechanism. And then the texts go even further, don't they? There's a huge chunk, the Dhyaka-suttas, like 40 of them.
Yes, from 1.11 to 1.50. They are quite repetitive, but the repetition really hammers home an additional point. They build on what the Suttas said.
Okay, so what do they add to the recipe for Naga rebirth?
They add an action component. It's not just about past misdeeds and making a wish. These suttas show a pattern. An individual has the past misdeeds, hears about the nice Naga life, wishes for it, and then they also make a specific kind of offering or donation.
An offering, like giving something.
Exactly, a tangible act of giving. It seems this offering, combined with the intention and the past karma, solidifies the path to that Naga rebirth.
And did the text say what kinds of offerings?
Oh yes, very specifically and consistently across all the suttas covering the different Naga types. There are 10 types of offerings listed again and again.
10 specific things, what are they?
Okay, the list is food, anna, clothing or garments, vethars, maybe like carts or conveyances back then. Then garlands or flowers, mala, perfume or fragrance, ganatha, unguents or ointments, dilipana, things you put on the body.
Okay.
And finally, beds or couches, sometimes translated as dwellings, seya, lodging or residences, or vasa, and lamps or lights, padapaya.
Wow. Food, drink, clothes, transport, nice smells, places to rest, even light itself.
It's a comprehensive list of, well, life's necessities and comforts, isn't it? Giving these things with that specific intention of becoming a Naga that's presented as the way. It's this very precise interplay of past karma, present desire, and a concrete action.
It's incredibly detailed, not just vague myths, but almost like cosmic programming instructions. Perform action X with intention Y under condition Z and result N follows.
That's a good way to put it. It shows a worldview where the universe operates on these very specific, understandable principles of cause and effect, even when dealing with rebirth into realms like the Nagas.
What an amazing journey through just this one section, the Nāgavaggo. We started off thinking about, maybe just cool snake creatures.
Right.
And we've ended up with this incredibly detailed system. 4 types of birth, a clear hierarchy among them. The fact that they practice things like Uposatha to improve their karma.
Remembering their past lives, wanting a better future.
Yeah. And then the mechanics of rebirth itself, how past actions, hearing about the Naga life, forming that strong wish, and then even making specific donations like food or lamps, how all that clicks together to cause that specific outcome.
And if you step back and look at the bigger picture here, it's fascinating, isn't it? These ancient texts, even when dealing with what seems fantastical to us, are exploring really deep universal themes.
Like what?
Well, obviously, cause and effect karma is central. Every action, every intention has a consequence, but also the sheer power of the mind, the power of desire and intention to shape reality, or at least one's future reality, and this fundamental yearning for different kinds of existence driven by our past experiences and present aspirations. It's a very sophisticated psychological and cosmological map.
So bringing it back to, us listening right now, whether you literally believe in Nagas hatching from eggs or appearing from moisture isn't really the point, is it?
Not entirely, no.
It's more about what these detailed stories might reflect, about how we understand our own lives. How might our intentions, our past actions, the good and the bad, and even simple acts like giving something, be seen as shaping our future? It offers this framework for thinking about agency, about influence.
Absolutely. And it leaves you with a powerful thought, doesn't it? If these texts describe beings actively working to improve their situation based on past mistakes, and if specific actions, when combined with really strong intentions, can lead to such precise outcomes, like being reborn as a specific type of Naga, what does that suggest about the power we hold right now? How much are our current lives the good parts and the difficult parts, maybe a result of our own past actions and wishes? And perhaps more importantly, how much can our intentions and actions today steer the ship for what comes next? What kind of future are you, listening now, actively shaping with your thoughts and deeds?